Chosen ones, have you ever felt like you're being used? If you are one of the chosen, these signs will help you understand what's happening around you. In this video, we will discuss 7 signs that people around you might be using you. This will help you better protect yourself and conserve your energy. In any relationship, be it friendship, family, or work, the balance between giving and receiving is crucial. When one side constantly expects help, support, or resources without offering anything in return, it could be the first sign that you are being used. Imagine your colleague frequently asks for your help with their tasks. They ask you to explain project details, help with reports, or even complete part of their work. At first, this might seem like normal workplace dynamics, but over time it becomes clear that this colleague never offers help in return. They show no interest in your projects, don't offer assistance when you're busy, and never thank you for your support. This one-sided dynamic indicates that you are being used. Another example is within your circle of friends. Suppose you have a friend who constantly calls or messages you when they need something. They might ask for advice, help with moving, or support during tough times. However, when you seek their help, they always have excuses not to assist. In such relationships, you feel needed only when your friend wants something, but you are left without support when you face difficulties. In family relationships, this also happens. For example, a family member might continuously ask for financial support, help around the house, or childcare without offering anything in return. This person takes your help for granted and doesn't appreciate your efforts. They show no desire to help you in return and have no interest in your needs and problems. In romantic relationships, similar situations occur. Your partner might constantly expect emotional support, attention, and time from you but never strives to provide it to you. They complain about their problems, demand your attention and care, but when you need support, they are indifferent and unwilling to help. If you notice that someone always turns to you only when they need something, this is the first sign that you might be being used. You have the right to expect reciprocity in relationships and to set boundaries to protect your interests and emotional well-being. People who use others often ignore their needs and feelings. This is evident in various situations. For example, you might constantly support someone, listen to their problems, and help solve their issues, but when you need support in return, your requests are ignored. Imagine you have a friend who constantly complains about their problems, asking for your advice and help. You are always there to support them, listen, and offer solutions. However, when you face difficulties, this friend becomes unavailable. They show no interest in your problems, don't ask how you're feeling, and don't offer help. You feel that your needs and feelings don't matter to them, which is a clear sign of being used. At work, this can also happen. Your colleague might frequently ask for your help with projects, explanations of complex points, or support in difficult situations. But when you need help or advice, they ignore your requests. Your tasks and problems go unnoticed, leading to a sense of unfairness and inequality in the relationship. In family relationships, this can be evident too. For example, a family member might constantly demand your attention and care, but show no interest in your needs. You may feel that your desires and feelings are ignored, creating imbalance and a sense of resentment. In romantic relationships, ignoring a partner's needs is also a concerning sign. If your partner expects constant attention, support, and care from you, but doesn't strive to meet your needs, it indicates a one-sided relationship. Your requests for support are ignored, leading to feelings of loneliness and emotional exhaustion. When your needs and desires are consistently ignored, it is a clear sign of being used. You have the right to expect reciprocity in relationships and respect for your feelings. If you notice your needs are being ignored, it's important to recognize this and take steps to protect your interests and emotional well-being. Manipulators often use guilt or shame to get what they want. Emotional blackmail is a form of manipulation where someone tries to control or influence another person by causing them to feel negative emotions. This can manifest in various aspects of life, in relationships, at work, in friendships, and even in family dynamics. Imagine you have a friend who constantly asks for help. Every time you refuse or are unable to help, they start saying that you are letting them down, that they were counting on you and now have no one else to turn to. You begin to feel guilty for your refusal, even if you have valid reasons. This friend uses your feelings to get what they want and to make you act in their favor. At work, this can happen when a colleague or boss tries to make you take on additional responsibilities. They might say, "If you don't do this, the whole project will fail," or "You don't want our team to look bad, do you?" As a result, you feel responsible for the success of the project and agree to take on extra tasks, even if you don't have the time or resources for it. In family relationships, emotional blackmail is also common. For example, a family member might say, "If you don't help me with this, I will never be able to manage." Or, "You are always so selfish, never thinking of others." These statements make you feel guilty and compel you to act according to the manipulator's wishes. In romantic relationships, emotional blackmail can be particularly hurtful. Your partner might say, "If you really love me, you will do this for me." Or, "I thought you cared about me, but you always put your interests first." These words make you feel guilty for not meeting your partner's expectations, and you start doing what they want to prove your love. Emotional blackmail can also occur in friendships. Imagine your friend constantly reminding you of how they helped you in the past to make you do something for them. They might say, "Remember how I helped you? Now it's your turn to help me." You start feeling obligated and fall into their manipulations. If you are made to feel guilty for refusing to help or for prioritizing your own needs, this is a form of emotional blackmail. It's important to recognize these situations and protect yourself from them. Don't let manipulators use your feelings for their own purposes. Set boundaries and learn to say no without feeling guilty. Your needs and feelings are important too, and you have the right to protect your interests. People who use others often make promises they have no intention of keeping. This is a form of manipulation that allows them to get what they want without making any effort. False promises can pertain to various aspects of life: work, friendships, family, and romantic relationships. Imagine a work situation where your colleague promises to help you with a project. You rely on their help, postpone your own tasks to focus on the project, but at the last moment, they back out, citing busyness or other reasons. Your plans fall apart, and you have to find a solution urgently. Such colleagues often use false promises to gain benefits from you without intending to fulfill their obligations. In friendships, false promises can manifest when your friend promises to help you move or support you in a tough situation. But when the time comes, they don't answer your calls or find excuses not to help. You are left alone with your problems, feeling disappointed and deceived. This friend uses your expectations to their advantage, knowing that you will still remain in their circle. In family relationships, false promises can be particularly painful. For example, a family member might promise to help you with financial issues or household chores, but fails to keep their promises. You feel betrayed and disappointed as your hopes are not fulfilled. These family members often use promises to avoid conflicts or responsibilities, knowing that you will continue to take care of them. In romantic relationships, false promises can involve future plans, financial support, or emotional support. Your partner might promise to change their behavior, support you in a difficult moment, or fulfill an important task for you. But this never happens. You feel betrayed and disappointed as your expectations are not met. The partner uses your feelings and trust to manipulate you and get what they want. If you notice that promises are constantly being broken, this is a serious sign that you are being used. False promises undermine trust and create an atmosphere of uncertainty and disappointment. It's important to recognize these situations and take steps to protect yourself. Be wary of people who make promises, but don't keep them. Set boundaries and learn to say no when you feel you are being deceived. Your time and resources are valuable, and you have the right to expect honesty and reciprocity in relationships. People who use others often undervalue their efforts and achievements. This manifests in various situations: at work, in friendships, family, and romantic relationships. Undervaluing your contributions is a form of manipulation that allows them to maintain control and avoid acknowledging your worth. At work, this might look like this. You put in enormous effort to complete a project, stay late, and take on additional tasks. However, your boss or colleagues do not notice your efforts, do not thank you, and do not acknowledge your contributions. Your achievements are attributed to others or simply ignored. This creates a feeling that your work does not matter, and you start doubting your abilities and value. Such behavior from your boss or colleagues is a sign that you are being used, as they benefit from your efforts without recognizing them. In friendships, this can also manifest. You constantly support your friend, help them in difficult times, give advice, and spend time and resources to help. However, when you need support or help yourself, your friend remains indifferent, showing no interest in your problems. They do not appreciate your efforts and take them for granted. This is a clear sign that you are being used. In family relationships, undervaluing your contributions can be especially painful. You take care of the house, solve household problems, and support family members, but your efforts go unnoticed. Family members take your care for granted, do not thank you, and do not recognize your importance. This can lead to feelings of resentment and disappointment as your efforts and achievements are ignored. In romantic relationships, undervaluing your contributions is also a concerning sign. Your partner may take your care, attention, and support for granted, not appreciating your efforts and not thanking you. They may demand more and more without recognizing your significance and the importance of your contributions to the relationship. This creates an imbalance in the relationship and leads to feelings of inequality and dissatisfaction. If your contributions are constantly undervalued or ignored, it is a sign that you are being used. It is important to recognize this and take steps to protect yourself. Acknowledge your achievements and demand respect for your work. Learn to set boundaries and do not let others undervalue your efforts. Your work and achievements matter, and you deserve recognition and respect. Manipulators often use your time and resources for their own benefit. This can manifest in various aspects of life: at work, in friendships, family, and romantic relationships. People who use you often do not give anything in return, leaving you feeling drained and deceived. At work, this might look like your colleague or boss constantly asking for help, assigning additional tasks, or delegating their responsibilities to you. You spend your working hours doing someone else's work, while your own tasks remain unattended. You have to stay late at work to catch up or take work home. As a result, you feel overwhelmed and undervalued because your time is being used for others' interests and your efforts are not recognized or compensated. In friendships, manipulators might use your time by constantly asking for help or support. For example, your friend might always ask you to help with moving, fixing their car, taking care of their children or other chores. You spend your weekends and free time fulfilling requests that bring you no benefit. Meanwhile, when you need help, this friend shows no willingness to assist or finds excuses to avoid obligations. You feel used and undervalued because your resources and time are spent on others' interests. In family relationships, using your time and resources can be particularly evident. For example, a family member might constantly ask for financial support, help around the house, or childcare without offering anything in return. You spend your money, time, and effort on these tasks, while your own needs go unnoticed. This creates a sense of unfairness and inequality because your efforts are not valued or acknowledged. In romantic relationships, manipulators might use your time and resources, expecting constant attention, care, and support. Your partner might ask for financial help, assistance in solving personal problems, or completing everyday tasks. You spend your resources and time meeting your partner's needs without receiving equal participation and support in return. This creates an imbalance in the relationship and leads to feelings of exhaustion and disappointment. When people constantly take up your time or resources without giving anything in return, this is a sign of being used. It's important to recognize these situations and take steps to protect yourself. Learn to set boundaries and say no when you feel you are being used. Your time and resources are valuable, and you have the right to use them in your best interests. Be cautious of people who demand constant sacrifices from you without offering anything in return. Undervaluing your feelings is one of the clearest signs of being used. When people ignore or dismiss your emotions, they show that they don't care about your experiences and state of mind. This can manifest in various aspects of life, including work, friendships, family, and romantic relationships. At work, undervaluing feelings can happen when your boss or colleagues don't acknowledge your emotional load or stress. For instance, you might work overtime, face difficulties in a project, or experience stress due to high responsibility. Instead of offering support or at least recognizing your efforts, they might say, "Everyone works like this, you're not special." or just do your job and stop complaining. Your feelings and experiences are ignored, making you feel like your emotions don't matter. In friendships, undervaluing feelings is also common. Imagine you have a friend you trust with your problems and share your emotions. However, when you express your feelings, your friend might respond with phrases like, "You're too sensitive," or "You're exaggerating, it's not that bad." Such words show that your emotions are not taken seriously, making it difficult to trust this person. You start to feel lonely and misunderstood. In family relationships, undervaluing feelings can occur through constant ignoring of your emotions and experiences. For example, when you share your feelings with family members, they might say, "You always react like this," or "Stop complaining. Everyone has problems." Your emotions are not only ignored, but also dismissed, creating a sense that you don't have the right to your own experiences. This can lead to feelings of isolation and alienation within the family. In romantic relationships, undervaluing feelings is particularly painful. Your partner might say, "You're being overly dramatic," or "Stop making up problems." These phrases dismiss your emotions and make you doubt your feelings. You start to feel misunderstood and unloved. Your emotional needs are ignored, and you feel that your experiences don't matter to your partner. If your feelings are constantly ignored or dismissed, this is a clear sign of being used. People who truly care about you will respect and acknowledge your emotions. They will strive to understand your experiences and support you during difficult times. Undervaluing feelings destroys trust and closeness in relationships, creating emotional distance. It's important to recognize these situations and protect your emotional boundaries. Learn to express your feelings and demand respect for them. Don't let others ignore or dismiss your emotions. Your feelings are important, and you have the right to have them recognized and respected. Be cautious of people who don't respect your emotions and question your experiences. In healthy relationships, mutual understanding and support are crucial. Now that you know these signs, you can better protect yourself and your interests. Signs of being used can vary, from constant requests and ignoring your needs, to emotional blackmail and undervaluing your contributions. Understanding these signs will help you recognize manipulation and take steps to protect your boundaries. It's important to remember that your feelings and time are valuable. Set boundaries and don't let others use you for their own benefit. Mutual and respectful relationships are the key to healthy interactions. In the next video, we will discuss how to deal with manipulators and maintain your boundaries. We will explore specific strategies and tips to help you stay strong and confident in any relationship.